2016 already, and we haven't seen the future of the Back to the Future trilogy last year. It hasn't come true. Instead, we're going to go back to the past and take a look at the Commodore 64 versions of the games that were made for the 3 movies. So, hold on to your hats. This is going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. RetroKork. We start off in... Okay, I need to stop doing that voice. We start off in 1955, because that's where the first game, Back to the Future, takes place. But the game itself is from 1986, so that's what we set the time machine to. So, here we are. I'm glad that I've managed to get this time machine to run on thin air. Anyway, Back to the Future by Electric Dreams Software is, well, maybe it's some sort of an action-adventure. Seriously, all you do is, in this game, is go from place to place, use items to get George McFly to follow you, and Lorraine Barnes to not follow you. You fill up a puzzle piece of a picture of you, Marty McFly, and then ultimately when your picture's full of the family photo. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, at the very least it doesn't hold your motivation long enough that you want to replay it for high score sakes. But it's not story-driven enough, as in the game itself doesn't really tell you a story to keep you focused. But it comes with 2 decent adaptations of songs from the movie, a loose adaptation of Johnny Be Good that plays when things are looking down, when things are looking grim, and its take on The Power of Love, which it plays when things are obviously looking up. Now, after you've managed to get George McFly and Lorraine Barnes to be a couple, the only thing you need to do is head back to Doc Brown's, take the DeLorean and go back to the future. And that's as good a point as any to head forward in time to take a look at the Back to the Future 2 game, which was released in 1990, so here we come, Christmas 1990. This time the game is from Mirrorsoft. However, it is a clunky collection of smaller games, my personal perception. You see, there are 5 levels in this game, or missions as it calls them. 2 of them are hoverboard levels, in which you travel on the titular hoverboard, which is a sci-fi anti-gravitational skateboard, not a Segway without the handlebar, and you travel through an area like you're playing a shoddy rendition of Paperboy. Oh, and the levels can go in 4 directions, basically, theoretically, but the up and down are usually only the up is rendered. Yeah, not very good. The backgrounds are looking rather uninspired. Level 2 has you get Jennifer out of her 2015 house without being noticed, which admittedly is a pain in the booty. Level 3 is one of the worst beat 'em up things I've ever encountered so far, as you basically only go through the alternate 1985, kicking and punching everyone who's getting in your way, including Biff, who's now gone and shooting you out of spite just right on the street level. Back in 1955, you have to deal with a sliding puzzle. I don't like sliding puzzles. Then you have the final hoverboard level where you allegedly go and try getting the sports almanac from Biff while you're on a hoverboard. Except I don't remember a lot of other skateboarders, a lot of other traffic going on all the way, and then the game is over. Well, except it isn't, because you seem to be in some sort of time loop, because you go straight back to level 1. At least the music's nice, and the game follows the plot of the movie roughly, and it gives us basically a Cliff Note version in some rather static cutscenes where Doc and Marty stand right next to the DeLorean, and you get told what to do. So no wonder the game refers to the levels as missions. Time for the last and, in my personal perception, best of the 3 Back to the Future games. Back to the Future 3 from 1991. Christmas, here we come, you know the drill. Back to the Future 3 is, well, admittedly it is obviously a compilation of minigames. You start off rescuing Clara on horseback, where you switch between a side view and a game style that is reminiscent of Summer Games 2, I believe, or Summer Games, and then you switch sometimes to a more arcadey top-down shooter along the lines of Gunman. Lone Gunman. The second level has you play shooting gallery. Then, on the third level, you throw frisbee pie dishes, and yes, frisbee was once more bakery than sports equipment. And after that, you go for the train, where you walk atop the train, avoiding both allegedly static obstacles like mail hooks or poles or things that would usually be in the ground, as well as people on top of the train. You also have to collect 7 speed logs on the way to get the train up to 88 miles per hour. Except the engine can't really hold the pressure very well, and it'll develop leaks. After that, you're back in 1985, and we're already back in 2016. Now, this is probably the best of the 3 games, simply because the different challenges feel more natural, as they've been embedded into the storyline of the movie rather decently, even though we again only get a rather rough cut of the story in cutscenes. And the music, well, it is more inspired by spaghetti westerns than the movie's soundtrack, which isn't a bad thing because, after all, the movie itself is quite an homage to spaghetti westerns, except for the shooting gallery. There it covers ZZ Top's performance of Doubleback from the movie itself quite decently, I have to say. So, overall, well, the first 2 parts of the Back to the Future computer game trilogy, they're forgettable at best, but mostly bafflingly bad games. The third, while still not perfect, it is at least a decent enough collection of minigames to kind of work. But that's only my take on it. And in 2 weeks I'll be discussing a typing game, 925 Typing. Yes, there is such a thing, and it's by Epix.